Hello, everybody out there. Timothy with another Dominaria Draft. Before I go ahead and pick up this two-headed giant, I would like to ask if people are interested in me doing a Lorwyn draft. I guess there are Lorwyn flashback drafts online, and Lorwyn is a set that I've never played. I know very little about it. I probably couldn't even name a handful of cards from it outside of the ones I just play in Commander. But if that's something you're interested in, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just stick with Dominaria for right now because Dominaria is great. I do think Two-Headed Giant is a very good card. I've just been... It's so obnoxious to see this on turn 4. It just beats down super hard, and it doesn't have a downside. It's not like it ever comes up with a bad ability, but either Gain and Menace or Double Strike on this thing is pretty insane, and the next best card is probably Time of Ice. I am on the bandwagon with this card. I think it's very good. I think it loses a lot of its value in a control deck, but is very good in any deck that's attacking. And then there's Drake, Skinner, and Surveyor, but go and pick up Two-Headed Giant. Don't draft red too often here. Ooh, follow this up. The only red card in the pack is Fiery Intervention. If I'm taking a removal spell, I'm probably taking Blessed Light. Blessed Light might be better than Quende. It's going to remove basically anything that you care about off the board, but I think I'm going to pick up Quende. I like red-white as an aggressive archetype. Although I think I like the controlling archetypes a little bit more than the aggro. Let's see, what was taken out of this pack? An uncommon. The rare is still here, and it's not particularly playable. Fiery Intervention would be just a fine pick, but I would definitely take Blessed Light over Fiery Intervention. I like Quende, though. These are two good beatdown cards. Granted, they're both 4-drops, and we don't have to force our colors here. I say that every time I draft, but there's no reason to force your colors if we find that something else ends up being open. These are two cards I really like starting off with, though. So, pretty happy with the first two picks so far. We'll see. What's my wish list? Third pick, removal spell would be very nice. Quende does make a lot of other cards better too. Things like Sarah Ascendant, not Sarah Ascendant. What is that thing called? Ooh. Well, it does look like we're going to jump ship here because the two blue cards here, Merfolk Trickster and Cloud Reader Sphinx, are very good, with Divination in the pack as well. Cloud Reader Sphinx, I think, is probably the stronger of the option, although Merfolk Trickster is also very good. And I think all three of the red cards are just worse than any of the blue cards. Although I guess Journey Mage might be on par with Divination in a certain type of deck. Could take Gideon's Reproach here. But I think I'm just going to jump ship here and take what I think is the strongest card in the pack. And again, we'll just look to see what's open here. I've had a lot of success with blue decks in this format. I will say the one color combination I've had zero success with is red-green, which is really weird because I talk to some people and they say red-green is what they've done the best with. But I don't know if I'm just drafting red-green wrong, but I do terribly when I have a red-green deck. Even if it has a lot of removal, I think part of that is that green does not have a good removal spell. Ooh, blink of an eye. Yep, this is definitely a signal. I think blue is going to be fairly open here, and I'm going to pick up blink of an eye. Pretty happy with it. It does look like red is flowing quite a bit, but we're not seeing a lot of good red cards. Rampage and Cyclops being the best red card in the pack. Call the Cavalry is pretty decent too, and Relic Runner is a nice one, but blink of an eye is a nice little trick. Very good against decks that stack auras onto their creatures. So, good against cards like Quende and such. Chainer's Torment, I think, is pretty dreadfully bad. Could take Rona here, although black has not seemed particularly open. Could take Call the Cavalry and just have all 4-drops. Lots of green cards, but none that are that exciting. Guess I could also take Voldalian Arcanist. But Rona's the best card in the pack. Chainer's Torment's not particularly good. See, I'm less excited to take Call the Cavalry when I already have 4 and 5 drops, although Rona might not pan out, so taking the blue-black card seems a little speculative. I might just take Rona, though, because I do think the upside on it is a lot higher than the rest of these cards. Triumph of Gerard, that'd be very good with Quende. There is another Blink of an Eye, though, and I think I'm just going to snap that up. Blink of an Eye, like I said, is very good. Triumph of Gerard is not a bad card. I've seen this card do quite a bit of work. Overall, what you get for it is 2 mana for 2+1/+1 counters and a big hit plus lifelink for a turn, which every time I've seen it, it's been quite good unless you can blow your opponent out. I'm just going to take Blink of an Eye, though. Have some control elements here. I guess this is decision time. I'm not going to take Befuddle or any of the green cards or Radiating Lightning, so we've got to look to see, like, what color do we really want to push here. It's not going to be red because I'm not taking Radiating Lightning. It's going to be either Thallid Omnivore or Knight of Nubenalia, and I guess it's just going to be the Knight. Even though I'm not super excited about having that one, I'm not really picking up anything else in this pack, so we'll go ahead and just snap up the Knight. Ooh, Urgoros. Urgoros is a nice card to get this late. I guess it's a sign that black isn't being drafted much or that the packs are just light on black, so I guess I'll go and pick it up. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Two-Headed Giant's going to pan out here. Could just take another Knight of Nubenalia and be the beatdown, too. I think I am waffling a little bit too much here, but I think it's fine for now. A bunch of green cards, a Frenzied Rage, super aggressive card, and then a Short Sword. Probably just going to grab Short Sword here. I'm not into Feral Abomination here. I don't want any of the green cards, despite green being completely open. Probably going to grab Tolarian Scholar over Excavation Elephant, I think. Don't have any artifacts that are going to the graveyard here. Tolarian Scholar is begrudgingly playable. I'm going to pick up this Compass here. I've probably mentioned it 1,000 times. I do not love the Compass, but if I end up playing 3 colors, I will play a Compass, and Orcish Vandal just never does anything. Flame of Kel, this card is just so bizarre and weird that I'm just not into it. You have to be pretty heavy red for that last part to even matter, so I guess I'm going to take a Divest for the sideboard. And Rescue, which I've actually seen be pretty decent. I feel like that part, the pack started out strong. I feel like I was right to move into blue, but I don't really know what I'm doing with the rest of the deck. Like, blue-black seems okay as a starting point. Like, if I cut these cards and look to play maybe not Short Sword, but something along these lines, that seems pretty decent. Along those lines, I could pick up the Mirari Conjecture, although my problem with this card, and it seems to always happen, is that I just never have sorceries in my deck. I don't know if that's me, like, just not valuing sorceries very highly, but if I take this and then I end up with very little removal, then it feels pretty bad. Although the second, or the last part of it's pretty good. It is also historic for Rona. I think I'm just going to take Vicious Offering, though, over the more speculative card. And this has a small possibility of just wheeling anyway, because I've noticed it's just not playable in a lot of people's decks. I think Fight with Fire might be the best card in the pack, but Vicious Offering's pretty good for what we've got so far. We're going to cut these cards until we know that we need them. Here, we've got a couple options. I think Untamed Kavu is an easy best card in the pack. It's very, very good, but not quite what we're looking for. We're looking at Dark Bargain or Coldwater Snapper. I do like the Snapper. I have an Arcane Flight already, so that's something. I might just pick it here. I already have a decent 6-drop. I could take Relic Runner as well. I have 3 ways to trigger it, and Relic Runner is just a fine card for these decks. I might actually do that. Coldwater Snapper is fine and all, but it's not super impressive unless you're in a color combination that can really take advantage of the auras, and I don't consider Arcane Flight plus Coldwater Snapper to be that good if your Arcane Flight's just not going to be that good in your deck anyway. So I'll just pick up Relic Runner, and we're really going to prioritize a couple historic spells, although blue flowing quite a bit here. My pick is between Academy Drake and Blink of an Eye. I really, really love Blink of an Eye, if I haven't made that very clear here. It's also a Blood Tallow Candle, which would be decent. I think I'm just going to pick up another Blink of an Eye. Like, if we can just keep them off things and then try to curve into these creatures that are hard to deal with, then I think we'll be fine. Academy Drake is nice, though, but just keep stacking up on blue removal spells. Ooh, Eviscerate. I was looking at the Acolyte and the Hummerid for a second, like, oh man, I have to pick one of these, but we're going to snap up this Eviscerate. It's not even particularly close. Nothing to talk about there. Slinvoda is not going to happen in this sort of deck. It's an 8-mana 8/8, but whatever. Memorial to Folly seems okay, but I'd rather have Fungal Infection, I think. It's pretty good with Vicious Offering. Again, these are all instant, so the Mirari Conjecture with Eviscerate looks actually decent, but there we go. We're looking for flyers. Not this one, but we are looking for flyers. Partick Wanderer could be a pseudo-finisher. Artificer's Assistant's just bad, I think. It might just be the pick here. Or I could just snap up a land for my collection if I'm not playing either of these other two cards. I think that's fine. I don't really like Bardic Wanderer very much. Don't really like any of these cards either. Sorcerer's Wand. God, if this could hit creatures, it'd probably be good, but as it is, it's pretty bad. Pick up a 2-drop that I might board into over Sparring Construct. Yeah. Sparring Construct is just decidedly a bad card. And I'm sticking with that. We need a little bit more beef in our flyers, our game enders. The first eruption. Sacrifice a mountain. That's not happening, right? Just go and pick up Opt here. Opt is playable. Divination's also pretty playable. Over Urza's Tome. I like Urza's Tome a lot worse, or a lot less in decks that already have card draw going on. Alright, here I guess I'll just pick up the Wand over something I'm not. I guess I'm more likely to play this than the Wand at any given point. And I don't see a need for Navigator's Compass yet. Maybe we'll open some cool gold card. We're not fitting this double red card into our deck, and we're not splashing for Quende. So we're definitely going to need to fill out the deck. We're at 13 playables. I feel like our colors are flowing decently, but not too well. Like, this would be a start of a very good deck if I was halfway through Pack 2, but we're basically done with Pack 2. And while, yes, we have a lot of interaction, we don't actually have a lot of ways to end the game here. These are fine and all, but what if they die? More Relic Runners would be nice. Any mid to late game flyer would be nice. Academy Journey Mages would be pretty good. Rona's not looking too great here, although I think her second ability is pretty good. The tap 4, exile the top card of your library. We did not get the Mirari Conjecture back for what that's worth. I would love a couple Academy Drakes, even though I passed one for a blink of an eye. That might have been a wrong pick there. Might turn out that I just want the Academy Drakes. Yeah, we're going to have some filler here. Like, this looks good, but we're going to probably have to fill it out with maybe some combination of these cards here. Divest, I guess, is a playable at the very minimum. Not splashing for much else. Quende, I guess, is a splashable card. Won't really have anything that combos with Quende either. No, I'm keeping these on the sideline just in case we do need to fill things in. We'll see what we have to play. Well, oh my god, this pack is sick. Shalai is very, very nice. I don't know that I necessarily need this if I'm going to take an equally good card out of the pack. Like, Shalai is very good. I think if you're not playing green-white specifically, and you're only playing one of the colors, then I think it's just okay. Like, its hexproof ability doesn't matter too much overall. I think if you're both colors, it's an absolute bomb. I think if you're splashing it, it's actually just kind of mediocre. Slimefoot's a nice little card to take advantage of a lot of mana. I'm probably going to take the Eldest Reborn here. This can function as a creature with that last ability. This does not look like a Time of Ice deck, although this pack is strong enough that I might get like Relic Runner back, since other blue players are often going to be interested in Time of Ice. And the playable count in this pack is very good, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of these white cards, that's like 6, probably 7 cards that people are going to be interested in. So I have a good chance of getting Relic Runner back if there aren't too many blue players at the table. Mox Amber, you say? Mox Amber was only 3 tickets last time, for what it's worth, so I don't feel obligated to take this, even though in real life I'd snap it up. I'm going to take Academy Journey Mage here. I'm passing out on 3 tickets. 3 tickets is kind of getting up to the point where I'm fine with it, but it's going to rot in my sideboard here, and I'd rather try to win. Syncopate would also be nice. Someone's going to take that Mox Amber, so there's that. Blood Tallow Candle, Weight of Memory, Joda. I'm just 2 colors off from playing this Joda, so I don't think that's the pick. Weight of Memory could be the pick. I don't want to play too many 5-drops. Final Pardon seems fine. Blood Tallow Candle seems okay. I think I'm doing decent on removal, though. Stronghold Confessor, Guardians of Koilos. I guess this is fine with Rona. It's pretty good with Eldest Reborn. Not super great, but pretty good. Might just take the 5-mana draw 3. Or I could take Blood Tallow Candle. It does trigger Relic Runner. It is functionally a removal spell. I already have a little bit of draw power and lots of Blink of an Eye, so yeah. Why do these Jodas always come back to back? I'm going to take Time of Ice here. I like this card, like I said. I'm not really poised to take advantage of it here, but it is pretty good. You can actually loop it with Rona, too, and it's probably better than another copy of these 2 spells. Ooh, all right, here's some options. We have Kazarov, Academy Journey Mage, and Syncopate. These are all very good options for us, like Kazarov being the type of card that you can just play a control game for and then slam it and hope to win the game, although we'd probably have to splash red to make it very good, so I might just pick up a Journey Mage here and hope to get back one of the 2 Syncopates we've seen in the packs. I did say that we were wanting finishers, right? And I do think Kazarov's a pretty good finisher. It wouldn't hurt to just put like a random red source in the deck and see if it works out, but Journey Mage is always going to be good. Kazarov is going to be good a decent amount of the time, but not always. Yeah, let's just pick up Journey Mage, not stretch it too much. Alright, Deathbloom Thallid is a solid body here. Not really conducive to a control deck, but the fact that you can just trade it off and be pretty happy anytime it trades for a creature is pretty nice, and it's better than Feral Abomination or the second Fall of the Thran that we're not going to play. Definitely better than Tolarian Scholar here. See if it's better than Sentinel of the Pearl Trident. Sentinel of the Pearl Trident is pretty good with Eldest Reborn and Time of Ice. I guess it works nicely with Rona. Again, Thallid would be just a decent card to fill out the curve here, but I think I'm going to take the Sentinel. It does some pretty cool things, and sometimes you get the flash advantage over your opponent. I do think our colors are pretty open too, which is nice. Alright, this random Holar going late. Thallid Soothsayer is a nice card, but not too great for us. This is a lot of really playable cards late in the pack. Adamant Will, Candle. I'm going to take Relic Runner. They do start to look a little bit better with like these Time of Ice Sentinel things going on. And I don't think Soothsayer is going to be what we want for this deck. Relic Runner does get in there. Ooh, the other Relic Runner did come back. Also, all the white cards in that pack. Well, now we have a game plan with all these Relic Runners. Pardic Wanderer, again, is okay. Guardians of Koilos, it looks okay here. It doesn't look particularly good. Short Sword doesn't even look good here. If this just blinked something, I could see it being a little bit better. I'm going to take Pardic Wanderer. Do need finishers to some extent. That's a late Fiery Intervention. That's just rude. Going to take the body here, I think, over, say, Final Parting. Too many 5-drops, obviously. All right. Anybody can play with those cards. I'm going to take the foil, because why not? And I guess take this mill card that's never getting played. And just stock up on Fire Elemental. So we started off with a red and a white card, and we moved into blue-black. And we are at 24 playable. So if I cut that, that's probably the deck. Could play Pardic Wanderer here. Did not get any of the Syncopates back, despite blue being pretty open. And our removal is okay. Not super, super good, but not bad. I guess it's actually pretty decent. This might not be a short sword deck, but I'm just moving my removal to the side here so I can get an idea of what it looks like. 3 Blink of an Eyes as well. Yeah, our removal's pretty good. Like we can play a good control game. This actually does look like the type of deck that could take advantage of the Mirari Conjecture, especially with Sentinel of the Pearl Trident. Although that combo is a little bit weak because you have to spend 5 mana on the Sentinel the turn that you're copying your spells. I don't really know that my deck wants Pardic Wanderer, but if I can just slam these threats late, that's fine. Like, we have 3-ish cards to close out the game. Eldest Reborn to reanimate another thing. Do I want any of this other stuff? I do like Rescue with the two whatchamacallits here. And I've actually found Rescue to be pretty good at just blanking a removal spell, which is decent when we don't have a lot of great creatures that we want to protect the creatures we have. I don't think Short Sword's going to be super impactful here. So you can use this to either blank a removal spell or just like rebuy a Journey Mage and cast it again. Something along those lines. I don't really want Divest or anything like that since we have a decent amount of removal, and I don't think I'm splashing for anything else here. So I think this is going to be our deck, and we are going to play a control game to get to this part of our deck. And I think it's going to work pretty fine. I love just the value that Blink of an Eye gets you in these sorts of things. Probably not going to be 11-6. We are going to be 17 lands. Probably just going to do 9-8. I want to be able to cast my removal spells. Majority blue, we do want to hit blue, but I think 9 blue sources is going to be fine. We'll see if the control deck gets there for us or not. I feel like this is missing maybe another big flyer, like another Cloud Raider Sphinx or something along those lines, but 3 Relic Runners gives us a little bit of a game plan. I guess I should count how many ways I have to actually trigger that. The Relic Runners. It's not an insane amount, right? I could see putting in a Short Sword over maybe like an Opt or something, just to make these trigger one more time. But maybe not. And I do like Rescue in this deck. I think it's going to be decent. You know, Opt is the type of card that I'm never like super disappointed about getting rid of out of my deck either. So yeah, let's go and do that. That just gives us one more way to get these Relic Runners in, and often deals an additional point of damage when we do. Plus, you can just equip it to something to make it marginally better and close out the game a little bit more. It's not fantastic here, but Opt is just not a fantastic card either, so we'll go and make that cut and play what we have here, and hopefully the control game works for us. So, my name is Timothy with Mana Rocks. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this draft, and we'll see you in the matches. All right, everybody, we are here for match 1 of this Dominaria Draft. We're playing a blue-black control deck. I chose to play first, even though I'm not entirely sure that's right here, because I do have a very controlling deck, but I do like to see what I'm up against first before I go making that decision. And you'll know I'm not playing the Blood Tallow Candle here because I have multiple Relic Runners in my deck, and I do want to make sure I get value off those if I can. Of course, if I get to turn 5 and I'm not doing anything else, I'll just run out of Blood Tallow Candle. But for now, we're just going to sit back and blink of an eye something, cast Cloud Raider Sphinx, so on and so forth. I don't think I need a Time of Ice. I'd like, if my opponent's playing white-black, to maybe run out a token or something like that before I do it. And I'm probably just going to blink of an eye, basically anything they play here, and then Cloud Raider Sphinx on my turn. Not worried about this glider right now. Alright, they did nothing, so we're just going to say bye-bye this thing, just for the tempo play. Ooh, Journey Mage. That's a nice one. Alright, Sphinx is going to be coming down. Unfortunately, I don't have a fancy way to get this Sphinx tapped with Time of Ice. It's a nice little thing you can do is tap your own value creatures. I think Relic Runner can stay on top and Island can go to bottom. We'll just pass here. The spells in our hand do hold off our opponent's cards quite a bit, so as long as we don't get hit by like the Eldest Reborn here or something janky like that, we should be able to deal with most of the threats our opponent can play. Like Danitha Kapashin. Not sure why the stack is way down in the bottom right. Alright, so what I'm going to do is play Relic Runner and probably Time of Ice. I could play Journey Mage this turn, but I want to get the Relic Runner down so that the Candle will get it in and stuff like that. It also basically stops our opponent from playing another creature next turn. Journey Mage actually deals more damage, though, if I just get this down and bounce that back to their hand. I'm going to have the candle to deal with things. I don't think it matters too much what I play here. Let's just cast Relic Runner and Time of Ice. I do get kind of waste the Historic trigger there, but I think Relic Runner's getting in there anyway, so it's not going to matter too much. Aether Glider is not going to be particularly good here, since it can't block, so they're going to have to play something else. And it doesn't look like they've hit a 5th land, so we're safe from, say, Blessed Light. That in our hand's good. Urza's Tome. Alright. Do something with your mana, I suppose. Ooh. Rona with Blood Tallow Candle or Time of Ice in the graveyard. We can actually do the loop here. So I'm going to cast Blood Tallow Candle. And I suppose I should just cast Journey Mage and bounce this back to their hand so there are no real tricks with it and just attack. Get that out of here. So Time of Ice not going to do anything, but I'm probably going to play Rona Time of Ice. Oh, what is this? A Vicious Offering to kill my Cloud Reader Sphinx. Okay. That is acceptable. Or maybe Rona will just target Blood Tallow Candle or something. Who knows? Got a pretty good setup here. Rona's going to be able to draw us extra cards if it survives. Oh, they're just activating Urza's Tome? Alright, they need to draw lands, I suppose, then. Discarding Excavation Elephant. Alright. Alright, here comes Time of Ice. Ooh, Divination, too. Very nice. So that's the case. I don't really have to play Rona right now. Just cast Divination first. Gonna play out all my lands here. Yeah, I'm not gonna expose Rona to a removal spell if I don't have to. Could run into a Gideon's Reproach here. Or my opponent takes 5. And hopefully we get to Fungal Infection, something. Fungal Infection at the minimum deals with Aether Glider. And if they play anything else, I can just play Rona and then cast Time of Ice out of my graveyard, essentially. Tap down whatever they block with. I also have this candle here, so this is looking pretty strong. That and Relic Runner will be unblockable from Rona. Lots of options here. Excavation Elephant, such a bizarre card in this format. I've complained about it a couple times because it's a lot of mana to get an artifact back from your graveyard, but artifacts don't tend to go to your graveyard in this game. Alright, well, we are not scared of Yargle, since this looks like bait with the Blood Tallow Candle, to be honest. Alright, so what are my options here? Probably just going to go Rona Time of Ice. That makes it very difficult for my opponent to just play out another creature next turn. And I have lethal on board, so let's go and do that. I have less use for black mana, so might as well. Okay. Yeah. Cast this. And play the Swamp in case we want a Fungal Infection something. So with Time of Ice and Candle, I'm not sure how my opponent gets out of this. Seems like it's going to be difficult. Unless they just kill off both my creatures. One reason they might have played Yargle last turn is to cast a Legendary Sorcery. That is something I could see happening here. Like, it's either... Okay, well, it's nothing then. Divest, I guess, is usually good against those sorts of decks. I don't know if Divest is just better than any other card here. We didn't see removal from the opponent, but they also got stuck on 4 lands, so that's something to keep note of. I think I'll just keep it as is. I feel like my deck has a pretty good time at coming back from behind with a lot of the cards we have. Ooh, Eldest Reborn. Maybe, hopefully I can Fungal Infection something small and then Eldest Reborn something big. And Danitho would be kind of annoying, but Time of Ice does stall for quite a bit. I did say I like Time of Ice a lot less in control decks, but even in control decks, it is going to stall your opponent for a decent amount of time. A Relic Runner would have been nice there, but you can't have everything. Or I guess a Blink of an Eye, even though I probably wouldn't cast it. I like to get full value off my Blink of an Eye if I can. Ooh, nothing from the opponent? Well, would have been nice to capitalize on my opponent's slow start. I don't think Fungal Infection is going to kill their first play at this rate, but if their first play of the game is a single creature, Eldest Reborn's going to get it. Ooh, please play a 1 toughness creature here. Sanctum Spirit. That's not a 1 toughness creature. It's probably going to get locked down with Time of Ice here. It is worth noting my opponent does have access to, what is it called? Invoke the Divine, which is pretty good against my deck. But what I'm going to do here, instead of playing Time of Ice, I'm actually going to Blink of an Eye this back to their hand, because what's going to happen is my opponent's likely to only play a single creature this turn. And that means Eldest Reborn can take it out. Like, if they just replay Sanctum Seeker, I drop Eldest Reborn, and looks like we're in a pretty good position. Ooh, Sentinel with Eldest Reborn. Nice. I'll have to put a stop on my upkeep in a couple turns. Should probably just do that now. Ooh, that is not the one I wanted to get with the Eldest Reborn. Might still just do it, though. Mountain. Opponent is splashing. Journey Mage this back to their hands. Then maybe they replay a bigger creature, not the Skittering Surveyor. I'm not a big fan of actually doing that, but I also don't want to Eldest Reborn this, because then they can just wait it out. Yeah, I'd rather make sure I get a big creature off of this. Although they could just go like Surveyor plus a 3-drop, and that'd be pretty annoying. I'm basically giving my opponent a land here. Okay. The Vicious Offering is fine. I'd rather that hit a value creature than one of my big things. Alright, play some big 6-drop here. Or Sanctum Seeker or something. Just don't replay Skittering Surveyor. Ugh. Wonder if my opponent's literally playing around the Eldest Reborn. That'd be pretty sweet. Well, my last line of play looks very bad now based on what my opponent's done. Oh, 2 mountains. Alright. We will go ahead and... Suppose I could drop Time of Ice. I'm not bouncing this one back, though. Yeah, let's just do it, because I can blink it next turn if I really want to go all in there. Plus, this gets the card out of their hand next turn. So I'll put a stop on my upkeep. And then if I decide I want to blink this, I'll wait for it to trigger, flash in the Sentinel in response. Like if they just play a huge creature, Kazarov or something like that, we'll go ahead and take it down with the Eldest Reborn. Opponent does have 6 cards in hand. And we do have 0 interaction. Well, okay, that is a card. But they don't have a creature to play? Huh. Alright. Do get to make my opponent discard a card here. Planes. I wonder if they're going to go for an equip plus a target. Helm of the Host is very, very strong. I would love a blink of an eye here. Alright, we'll go and pass. At least on my turn, if they do play a creature and bounce it or suit it up, I can go like Eldritch Reborn, target an Academy Journey Mage. Ooh. Alright. Hopefully they go for the equip on this because I have a fungal infection. That's perfect. Could not have gone better. Alright, check this out. So the trigger from Eldritch Reborn goes on the stack. Oh, I need to stop on draw step, not upkeep. Alright, so I'm in draw step. I should be able to let this trigger go on the stack and target, I guess, Journey Mage, because I can like potentially blink of an eye or something. Yeah. And then in response, just flash this in. It doesn't really do much. They don't have a creature to sack, but it is going to make them discard on their turn. So we say, sure, blink the Eldest Reborn. And then we'll get another card out of the hand plus another reanimation. Oh, what? Oh, it comes back on end step. It's exiled. It's not in the graveyard. All right. Plus I have blink of an eye here to deal with the Helm of the Host. And we start getting in for a little bit of damage too. I'm going to put a stop on the opponent's main phase. That way, if they equip, I can do something before they go to combat. Alright. Unfortunately, they don't have a creature to sacrifice, but it's all good. I can also blink of an eye Eldest Reborn back to my hand and then just recast it. So I've got a lot of things I can do here. The interplay between my cards is pretty nice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't let them get this active. So if they go to play a creature and equip, I might just bounce this back to their hand. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not going to bother with blink of an eye here. I just might not have another creature to play. Ooh, if I beat Helm of the Host, I'm going to be very happy. Alright, make you discard. And more pressure is nice. Discarding Yargle. I will reanimate that next turn. Alright, so now we can play Deathbloom Thallid and hold up a kick to blink of an eye. I guess let's tap. Like so. I think my opponent's very light on creatures here. Based on how they're playing. 3 cards in hand, tons of mana. Huh. They do have a Kazarov. Well, we're going to blink it back to their hand. Just draw another blink of an eye. That should pretty much set them. Oh, Helm of the Host on Kazarov seems pretty ridiculous. Just never give him a chance to cast Kazarov, basically. And we get to bring back Yargle with Time of Ice to back it up. Oh. And we have Rona. Jeez. All right. Yep, get back Yargle. The Eldest Reborn is gone now. Cast Short Sword. Equip Short Sword. Attacking for 8. With Time of Ice and Rona, this seems pretty hard to lose here. And Yargle. They're going to be on chump block duty. Kazarov will not do the trick here. Ooh, Sanctum Spirit Helm of the Host is pretty nice, though. That's fine. Oh, and they have Kazarov in their hand to make something indestructible. That's pretty good. So let's think about what our options are here. Do I have enough mana? 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Not close enough to that. So let's see. I can Time of Ice one of these bad boys. And I guess casting Rona into the Eldritch Reborn seems like a pretty good bet. They have to block. They discard Kazarov. That's whatever, right? And Eldritch Reborn's going to get rid of this Sanctum Spirit. Can even move Short Sword here. Yeah, they're going to have to block with this and either discard Kazarov or get rid of it. I probably want to do Eldritch Reborn before anything else, though, so let's go and do this. I don't see a way to win this turn. We'll say yes. We'll go ahead and just cast this now. Get rid of your Sanctum Spirits. I assume the token. And then I can move Short Sword to Yargle. Or I guess I can just move Short Sword to another creature here. Because they have to block Yargle. Although I don't want Yargle to die here, so yeah, let's move Short Sword to Yargle. They're going to gain 3, but take 7. And they're probably gonna discard Kazarov to keep this around. Which means they'll have 2 lifelinkers next turn. They did discard Kazarov, that makes sense. But they're forced to chump Yargle. And normally I would move Short Sword to another creature, but I can't or Yargle will die. We have Time of Ice next turn, plus they're going to have to discard their last card if it's not something they can cast here. Arvad. Alright, that's pretty good. Ooh, what if they move Helm of the Host to Arvad? I mean, it is better than this, right? Oh, they got a bunch of lifelinkers on board. Well, Island wasn't quite what we wanted to draw there. So Time of Ice, locking down Arvad here. They're going to gain 6. Block these 2, take 3. So they're still going to be at 3, but they lose these things. They're going to get another Arvad, but I can lock that down with Time of Ice. So might as well lock down the 5/5. And let me double check this. So attack, attack. They lose. Well, can they afford to block Rona here? Let's say they block here and here. They gain 6, so they're at 9. They take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm not going to attack with Rona. I guess I could activate Rona and see if I get a blink of an eye here. Or a Vicious Offering. We got a Relic Runner. Alright. Something to add to the board is not terrible. Gonna lose Yargle. I'm gonna trade this probably. So their life total stays the same. This does not untap, and I can tap down their next one too. I lose both my creatures. I get a sap. And we can cast Relic Runner. Alright. Note that the tokens that they make with Helm of the Host are not legendary, so they don't actually get pumped from the original Arvad. So you don't start making like infinitely stronger Arvads. That last card is going to have to be very, very good for them to beat this Time of Ice. And what can the Eldest Reborn get back? Sentinel of the Pearl Trident to blink Rona. Or we could get back Kazarov. Yeah, this game is fairly over unless their last card is something very, very good. Alright, let's see it, opponent. Let's see Robo the Dude 420. God, Helm of the Host is just absurd. I see no reason to block this. All right. Oh, wow. With rescue. I'm going to cast that. All right, so Time of Ice is going to go ahead and freeze this. Eldest Reborn is going to target... I think I have to hold control here. Kazarov. And with that on the stack, oh, I guess I did that wrong. I thought if you hold control, it lets you hold priority. I would wanted to rescue that back to my hand. Oh, well. No biggie. If they somehow make like a surprise lifelinker, I can rescue it back to my hand, but maybe the opponent drew like a Gideon's Reproach. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They could have a removal spell here. Not a big fan of attacking with the Rona, but I do want to threaten lethal here. Alright, so I'm not sure what the opponent's last card was, but they didn't just snap concede. Maybe they wanted to see if I had actual lethal damage. I got to figure out how to use the rescue. Oh, I guess I let the ability resolve, so while it was on the stack target in, I could have just rescued in response. I don't know. Maybe I did that wrong, but well, the deck played out the way we wanted it to, and it felt pretty good against this opponent who has one of the best cards in the format. So let's see if we can do that again. Thanks for watching. See you all in match 2. Everybody, we're back from match 2. Opponent going down to 5 on the play. I secretly want to be on the draw, so I like when my opponent has to make the decision, because then I don't have to feel any moral quandaries about whether I did the right or wrong thing. Pretty good hand, too. Double Relic Runner, Divination, and an Academy Journey Mage to deal with anything super problematic. This card's fine. For now, I'm perfectly fine trading off a Relic Runner. I think I have so much card advantage in the late game that it's worth just trading my cards off if I can. Especially when the opponent only has 3 cards left in hand. Like, if they want to use a trick here, I'm okay with it. And they had nothing to follow up with, so now would be a good time to cast Divination, although I guess I could just get Relic Runner down and play Short Sword. Short Sword is a guaranteed trigger, so let's just cast Divination this turn. We'll react to our opponent. Probably should have played the blue. And just have my 7 cards to my opponent's 3, I guess 4. Another Keldon Warcaller. I wonder if they have something that combos with that. Ooh, that actually seems pretty decent in this matchup. Would love to hold Rona until I have a reason to not hold Rona, so I think I'm going to cast Relic Runner and try to trade Fungal Infection for this other Warcaller. Journey Mage, the next thing that comes down. If they want to interact here, I'm okay with it as well. Alright, get in there, Saproling. Do your job. Alright. So opponent on probably a good red-white deck that has some filler 2-drops, or they might have some cute combo to go with that. Here, I'm going to play Relic Runner, Short Sword, Equip. Make sure I'm equipping to the right Relic Runner here. The non-summoning sick one. And we'll put the fear of another fungal infection in them. I think our hand's pretty good here. Would love some Blink of an Eye just to guarantee that they never resolve a reasonable spell, but land off the top gives me Partic Wander. I don't think I have to cast anything here. Just going to attack for 5. Sucks my opponent's on 3, but they did have to mold a 5, so we'll see. Ooh, maybe they're interacting. Or maybe they're taking 5. Like, if their next couple plays of the game are just, a tap land, punished. Land? Ooh, Candle? I'm going to play it. Because any of these spells will still make these unblockable. Basically, they have to kill the Relic Runners. Probably should have played Rona there because it's a guaranteed win next turn if they just don't do anything. It's probably a guaranteed win regardless because I have multiple ways to just get a creature off the board. Like this I'm fine with. Would not be a guaranteed win now. Go and equip. Yeah, I'm going to play Rona. Again, just force him to deal with another creature here. So Time of Ice locking down something down, plus making it unblockable, plus bounce in, plus Blink of an Eye. We have a million answers to what our opponents could play here. We don't really have a lot of information about their deck. It's kind of an awkward game. Not really any sideboarding I can do, and that's fine. I guess they have multiple 2/2s, so maybe I want a 2/2, but Relic Runner trades off just as nicely as Cabal Evangel, so that's fine. Yeah, we're just gonna submit as is and run it back. And hopefully our opponent doesn't have to go down to 5, so we can actually play a game. Jasonator. That hand I was probably just not being too aggressive with. Ooh, I like this hand a lot. I like this quite a bit. Opponent is keeping 7 this time. Drawing the 6-drop there is not quite what I wanted, but it is one of our late-game threats. Also, this is how I justify these sorts of things. If I draw a 6-drop now, that means I'm not going to draw one later on, unless I hit specifically Partick Wanderer. I wonder what the combo with Warcolor is here. I doubt they're just playing 2 of them as vanilla 2/2s. Might be like Triumph of Gerard or something. Card that I'm not particularly scared of. If I draw lands within the next 2 turns, I've got a really sweet curve going on too. And yeah, we'll go ahead and start jamming. Sure, they get to attack into me, but that's fine. Probably going to be Blink of an Eye next turn. Between that and the next 2 draw steps, so very likely to hit my 5th land, and 6th land gives us Urgoros. I would have liked a Skin Witch just because it's a late game mana sink, and also it's a wizard. Lets you cast your Journey Mages. Alright. Ooh, nothing from the opponent. So we're just going to go ahead and attack and cast Blink of an Eye on whatever comes down. I'm probably not going to cast Blink of an Eye on this thing, though. Oh, that'd be a little bit worse if their play is just like Fiery Intervention, your Relic Runner. Really, and they just took the hit from that? I think they I guess I've got spells going on here, but I'm not into Blink of an Eye in this thing, though. I'm just not too worried about it. Sarah Angel, however, we can Blink of an Eye. Get out of here, Sarah Angel. Wow. Ooh. Well, what I'm going to do is Journey Mage this thing back to their hand. Hopefully they just replay Sarah Angel and we get them. Not to mention I can just attack through Sarah Angel with these things. Or even a big 6-drop would be fine. Play Sarah Angel. Gitu Chronicler. Getting back Shivan Fire, I think that's okay. Doesn't mean I can attack into them this turn. They're going to get back Shivan Fire. They might just kill this flyer. If I play Urgoros, they kind of have to deal with that, though, right? At any rate, I can attack for 3. I guess I should have equipped if I'm not playing Urgoros. Eldest Reborn something now, or just play like a flyer? I guess I can go Cloud Reader Sphinx plus Short Sword that doesn't even get um, dealt with by Shivan Fire. Plus, I get to scry. Just keep a bunch of Blink of the Eyes on top, or put some lands on the bottom. Rona with Eldest Reborn. Still kind of cute. The islands definitely go to the bottom. Rona can get back Urgoros if it dies. I think it's going to be good enough to keep on top. I've got stuff to do with the next couple turns anyway. If they attack with Gitu Chronicler, I am blocking. And if they want to use Shivan Fire to deal with it, then that sets me up for the Eldest Reborn on Sarah Angel. Or just drop an Urgoros. Looks like I still have this stop on main phase. Oh, alright. Looks like the opponent's going to make that play. Could be worse if it's like, I don't know, Gideon's Reproach or something, but run amok. Alright. Ends Shivan Fire? That's the play? They don't lose their guy, I guess that's fine. And charge? Alright, if they want to 2-for-1 themselves a bunch of times, it's okay by me. They still have the Shivan Fire. It's respectable. Oh no, why am I... Whoops. I'm in combat now. That's not great. So we know their hand is Shivan Fire plus Sarah Angel plus 1 unknown. If I play Urgoros, that basically commits them to Shivan Fire next turn. Kick, too. And then I can play Journey Mage to bounce this, but that doesn't seem too great. Yeah, let's just play Urgoros. Could play Eldest Reborn, too. Eats this. If they just cast Sarah Angel, they're discarding for turn. And I have Rona plus Academy Journey Mage just kind of stall for a little bit. Don't really want to lose Urgoros if I can avoid it. If I bounce this, I guess if I just play this, they Shivan Fire this. They could just kick this again to get Shivan Fire back. Nah, I'm just going to play Urgoros here. Opponent's holding me off pretty nicely here. Is that a Wizard's Lightning? Well, that was probably worst case scenario, because now they go, boom, got you for 1, and cast our good friend, the Sarah Angel. Okay. So if I play Journey Mage and bounce this, they're going to Shivan Fire it. If I play Rona, they're going to Shivan Fire that. If I play the Eldest Reborn, they're going to lose this, have to discard a card next turn, and then I try to hold them off with bounce spells. It's kind of tough. I do want to get this off the board without bouncing it to their hand. I think it's probably right to just play this, let it eat this thing, get an extra card out of their hand, and then take a couple hits off Sarah Angel. Wizard's Lightning was pretty clutch there, I'm not going to lie. Alright, another creature to have to deal with is not necessarily good for me. I assume they're pitching like a land here, and they have Shivan Fire in hand as their last card. So what I'm going to do here is bounce, let's just say, Serra Angel, and probably blink of an eye another thing here. Alright, use it. Oh, they did not use it. I could probably take 4 off this too. Oh, I see. They wanted to save Shivan Fire for whatever I reanimate here. Could take 4 and then reanimate like Urgoros. They have to Shivan Fire that. Could get back a Journey Mage too. Alright, get this guy out of here. I made up my mind. I'm going to replay Serra Angel probably. Oh, just the Cyclops. Alright, Eldest Reborn is going to reanimate, I guess, Cloud Reader Sphinx. Just because I can equip it. Let's go bottom, and I don't think this game is going to be won by Relic Seekers. So I can Divination now. Ooh, that would have been good. And then I can go Short Sword on this thing. Attack for 4. And then Short Sword up the Cloud Reader Sphinx. And I have Blink of an Eye to back it up. Plus Rescue, I guess. I'm 1 land away from going Rona plus cast the Eldest Reborn. I would be pretty okay with this trade here. And we know their hand is what? Serra Angel plus 3 unknowns now? Fiery Intervention. I'm just going to rescue this back to my hand. This is why I like Rescue. It's grown on me quite a bit here. All right, now if they just recast Serra Angel, I'm in a pretty good spot to go Rona plus Eldest Reborn. And I get more Scries. Ooh, we're just going to go top here. And I think we're in the phase of the game where we're going to just start wrapping it up with everything we're drawing. We're just hitting gas here. And if I get this Eldest Reborn on the Serra Angel, which is kind of what I've been playing towards the entire game, then I'm feeling pretty good about it. Yep, watch him play a stupid 1-drop here. Might even get the concession at this point, since the Eldest Reborn is going to wreck him. Eldest Reborn. Just cast that right away. Yes, I finally got you, Serra Angel. Finally. This whole game has been like me just trying not to waste this on a Junker creature. And now they're on a 3-turn clock with me having a 5/5 coming off, reanimating something, discard. Like, I don't know. I feel pretty set in this game. Not a lot White-Red's going to be able to do to take this down, I don't think. Looks like that was another Shivan Fire, perhaps. Yeah. All right. Opponent's deck is not bad. Oh, never mind. That was the same Shivan Fire from the entire game. I guess if they killed Cloud Raider Sphinx, we're doing okay, but we're just going to eviscerate that. They're going to have to pitch a card. Tiana, Ship's Navigator. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's just be not cute. I was thinking of blink of an eye, Eldest Reborn, and then recast it, but there's not really a need to do that. This lets me hold up blink of an eye as a potential trick, and they have to do something this turn. Plus, I'm going to reanimate like Sarah Angel or something, or I guess I could just reanimate an Academy Journey Mage. So yeah, this worked out pretty nicely. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this match and see if I was just being cute, trying not to cast the Eldest Reborn on this thing to get it off the board, but I probably took a lot more damage. But they did just blow a lot of cards here to try and 2-for-1 me, and it worked. But in the end, we have such a great late game that not too worried about it. And we ended at 11, which is surprising given that Sarah Angel managed to come back a couple times. So that puts us in the finals. Let's see if we can finally scrape out the third trophy here, and I'll see you in match 3. All right, back for match 3. We're going to see if we can get a trophy out of this deck. Probably going to lose to the turn 1 Llanowar Elf since we're a little dirtily, but that is one less card to deal with, and not a lot going on for a while. I don't have to play Short Sword either, since it is a way to just get the Relic Runners in there. If I need to, I can blink of an eye just to get something off the board, but we'll see. If this is like a Holar or something, I might just blink of an eye right away. Croson Druid I'm not as worried about. So probably going to take some hits here. Probably going to have to blink of an eye without Kicker maybe, but we'll see. Journey Mage does get us out of some pretty tough situations. It's a good start from the opponent. Ooh, but nothing to follow up with is nice. I think probably just going to play Short Sword now in case I want to go Blocker plus something, but I'm not going to blink of an eye again without Kicker. And these Journey Mages should be pretty good against the opponent. Oh, Llanowar does do what it does, right? Here they come. I'm going to go down to 14. And here comes another 3-drop. That is a Halar. The Fire Fletcher. So I don't really want them to have the opportunity to kick something, so I might as well just bounce this back to their hand. Do take some damage here. And then we go Journey Mage, Journey Mage. Yeah. Pretty far behind this game. We're going to be at minimum 11. Our hand's not perfect, but it does do a good job at catching back up here. Could use, I don't know, I guess a big beefy body. Since we're probably going to see a 6-drop this turn. Multiple 3-drops would be pretty bad. Our opponent is keeping Land of War Elves back, though, so this looks like a 6-drop to me. Primordial Worm. All right, don't mind that one, since it's just going to go back to their hand. Rescue is not bad at dirtling either. So go back to whence you came. And you better believe if anything attacks me, I'm snap blocking with Academy Journey Mage. Yeah, I'll trade Journey Mage for this Druid. Since my next turn's just going to be another Journey Mage anyway. Might as well mitigate the damage. Alright, here comes the Worm. So I need like an Eviscerate off the top. Not more lands. More lands is not what we need. And think I'm just going to keep Rescue up instead of equipping Short Sword. Time of Ice would be pretty good here. Man, this Land of War Elves really made a huge difference. Yep. Ooh, okay. So that means I don't necessarily have to use Rescue and Blink. I could just Blink of an Eye now and then attack with the Academy Journey Mage. Also means my opponent next turn has enough mana to probably play both of those things, which is not great for me. But at least this turn I get to do a little bit. And just cycle in the Blink of an Eye for tempo reasons is pretty good. Oh, that's not bad either. I'm debating whether or not I actually want to use that. I know I'm doing this just to keep my opponent off like Holar plus Primordial Worm. Seems like a thing I probably don't want to do. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, if they have a land, they can cast both those things. I don't know if it's worth just getting them off of it for a turn or trying to save this for a bigger creature. It doesn't deal with Worm, but it can deal with Holar if I need to. I think I'm just going to kill this and see if they just want to replay their Primordial Worm again. Again, we're looking for like Eviscerate or the Eldest Reborn would be pretty good. Another reason to get rid of this elf. Something for 2 green. Oh, Gift of Growth to save your elf. Okay. Not sure I would have done that, but I think it's fine. Yep, and we do have to deal with Worm plus Halar now. Doesn't mean they only have 1 card left in their hand. Yeah, it would have been just fine playing Halar and holding up Gift of Growth. That's kind of hard for me to deal with. Oh, and kick Grow from the Ashes. So I'm going to take 1 here. All right. It's pretty solid. The Swamp, you say? Pretty nice. Oh, I can attack. I'm down to 10. That, I think, was a pretty good draw. So, just going to cast it, I think, and kill Halar right away. We know they can't do anything in response. And then attack with Academy Drake. I'm kind of scared here, because my opponent's going to be able to cast this stupid Worm plus basically anything they draw. And if I could just draw 1,000 Blink of an Eyes, that'd be great. Ooh, this is not a Primordial Worm. This is a Territorial Allosaurus. I'm going to rescue my guy, which is not actually great here because I don't want to bounce this thing. Alright, opponent's got a good ramp deck. Without this Llanowar Elves, I think I'd be pretty good against it. Alright, come on, rip some removal spells here. Alright, that is a removal spell. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Take 1 off the elf. I need to fog a second big creature here. Eldritch Reborn would still be fine against the elf here because I have the Sentinel to get a second trigger off of it. Rona would be an okay draw. God, this is another big creature. My opponent just ripping big creatures off the top. No, maybe they just over-tapped. Alright, get in there, elf. Not what we want to draw. Alright, we are definitely stalling. How good the Mirari conjecture would be right now. Yep. Been there, done that. Oh, and they do have another spell this turn. Oh, it's another elf. Alright. Time of Ice was a good one. With the Sentinel to back it up. Alright, we may be able to pull this out yet. Alright. That was a weird block. I think my opponent's gonna try to race me here then. Compass. Alright, well, that doesn't look too great here. It's gonna gain him 3 life, which could matter in this match, but the real question, do I want to go ahead and eat this elf with the Sentinel? I don't think so. I think I just want to hold things off as much as possible. Oh, come on. Yeah, let's just target the elf. If they have another Grow from the Ashes, that's not great for me, but... And I guess we should just play out our lands because of just cards like Rona and draw spells. We want to be able to cast those spells plus draw cards. My opponent has 11 lands to my 10. And we are gonna gotta make sure I do this right with the Sentinel. Not entirely sure how this works out. So on upkeep, I'm going to stop. I'm going to hold control. I'm not sure if this is how it works or not. I want to be able to respond to my Time of Ice activation. Yeah. All right. So cast this. Flash that in. Sure. Just making sure we're doing all of this right. They're turning this into a different color. They made it an island. Maybe they think this gets bounced back, the Navigator's Compass. I'm not sure. Blink Time of Ice. Resolve. Use the ability. And then this bounces. Attack for 7. Oh, I'm sorry, attack for 4. Alright, now Time of Ice will come back in with no targets, but this does mean they have to play multiple creatures. Sure, they can play at least the 2 we know about, but we're going to get to lock one of them down, and then they have to chump with the elf if they don't have another card that matters in their hand. We only have 6 lands left in deck, so we have a 2 to 3 chance of hitting a spell. Ugh, kicking it. Alright, that was a good one. Though here comes Land of War Elves anyway, so that's pretty good. It's pretty good. We're gonna lock down Land of War Elves with Time of Ice, I think. Draws. I guess that's a fine card here. It's not particularly great. I'm not bouncing this thing back to their hand for pretty obvious reasons. Get in there. Opponent probably just takes this. God, 10 life. So sick. Opponent's rips have been pretty good. We'll just move the short sword over. Alright, come on, Rona, or something along those lines. Sphinx would even be fine. Like a big flyer here to just really push it in. Urgaros would be pretty good. So they have the Worm plus one other card we don't know about. And we still don't know what this swamp is for. My guess would be something like Garna or Blood. I'm sorry, not Bloodfoot. Garna or Slimefoot. These are cards that are pretty good in decks that have tons of mana. Ooh, are you showing me the black card here? If it's Garna, that's pretty darn good. Oh no, it's just the Worm. God, really? Come on. Well, if I attack with everything, that is a lethal attack, but they can kill me on the swing back, so guess I just have to pass here and just start taking it. Deathbloom Thallid. We'll go for some sort of like double block on this if it attacks. Oh my god, that's actually really sick here. Means my double triple block type shenanigans are not very effective. Yeah, we need to rip pretty hard here. $12 lands though, like we have 5 in the deck. It's even better than 2/3 to draw spells here, and most of my spells are pretty good. Rona would probably just hit Time of Ice, to be honest. So they can attack with the Worm and then equip to the Krosan Druid, and I can't attack into it. If they attack with the Worm, I have to block, so they might as well block with Deathbloom Thallid. What a game. Really, why is this attacking? Don't tell me they have something in their hand here. Oh, no, I guess it could still be Garna because of the Compass. They definitely have something here. But we're going to play into it because we don't have too much of a choice. Wild Growth? Are you kidding me? Come on. I'm just annoyed because my draws have not lined up against this. All right. Really now? Really? We're not literally dead there, but we're basically dead. Jeez. 13 lands to my opponent's ramp here. And my opponent just top decked like a boss there. Oh my god. I guess when you get a bunch of the lands out of your deck, that's fine, but we're not going to change very much here. I am kind of annoyed at losing that game. I just feel like I drew so poorly, but it's also fine. I guess Divest is usually good against these opponents. Get their big creature. I didn't actually stop to consider that Divest is pretty good with like my Blink of an Eyes. It just means that I can permanently get rid of them instead of pseudo getting rid of them. I do like all the creatures in the deck. I do think Short Sword is not going to be effective here. And I do want to play first, just because my opponent has like Land of War Elves in their deck. We don't want to get caught up in all that mess. All right, let's try this again. Let's try this again. Opponent going down to 6. And keeping their hand. Yeah, my opponent's draws were pretty clutch that game. The shield was relevant. The wild growth was relevant. The gain 10 life was pretty relevant. Everything was, in case you missed it, was pretty relevant. I guess I should check the scry. Went to the bottom. Yes, no elf. Ooh. I actually like that my opponent's playing Spartan Construct because it's not really that effective of a card. It does block Relic Runner, but it's fine. I guess this is in the deck because Halar gets the counter off of it. I don't know how effective of a strategy that is, but I'm not going to diss it till I see it. And a Shivan Fire. Okay. This is fine. I'd rather the Shivan Fire get one of my early game creatures than one of my late game creatures. All right, now let's see. Blink of an Eye. As much as I love the idea of getting value off of it, I might just have to use it if they cast like Halar here to not fall too far behind. I guess I can Time of Ice anything big that comes down and just stall for a little bit. Yeah, I'm not going to Blink of an Eye this thing. Probably just going to Time of Ice it. And hopefully just draw another land within the next 2 turns because Sphinx is pretty good here. Island? Island. Haha. I'm still gonna Time of an Ice. Time of an Ice. Time of Ice down Land of War Envoy, just to keep tempo going here. Also, it just basically stops my opponent from playing another creature the turn after and gives me a nice little cushion to start casting these spells. Like, they could just pass the turn here without playing another creature. Or they could play another creature and just force me to Time of Ice that one over, like, the Construct or something. Well, they could cast that too. It's not a bad thing to do when you know that you can't really commit a creature to the board. Thankfully, I get to go Sphinx into Urgaros here. I did not see a lot of removal out of the opponent, and they already used a Shivan Fire. Still don't know what that black's for, though. Has me a little worried. Oh, I'm going to go bottom with Swamp, top with Blink of an Eye. Could even Blink of an Eye back Time of Ice to my hand, but having double Blink of an Eye and some flyers coming down, I think it's pretty good. Fire Elemental. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and resolve this. Attack with the Sphinx, play Urgaros, and then start using Blink of an Eye after that. Fire Elemental does hit pretty hard. I think Fire Elemental is a little bit underrated in the format in that, you know, a 5/4 for 5 mana is fine. I don't think it's powerful. I'm not saying it's like a very good card, but I do think it's a playable card. I think a lot of times people look at vanilla creatures in the set and just assume they're unplayable because they're vanilla, they're not impressive or anything, but Fire Elemental is pretty strong. Like, it's going to deal 5 to me here, which is not asking too much out of your 5-drop. Alright, Fiery Intervention on Urgaros. That's fine. We're going to Blink of an Eye right away. Just go ahead and play out lands. That is how this game goes very poorly. If my opponent just has another removal spell for the Cloud Reader Sphinx, I'm in a lot of trouble, actually. Or if they can just deploy a million creatures here. Like, Cloud Reader Sphinx is a nice clock, but... Ooh, really? So they're just going to go with the play a bunch of creatures route. That was a nice draw. We're just going to go ahead and get this off the board and then hold up Blink of an Eye and attack for 3. Can definitely race him at this point. I have Rescue to back up my Cloud Reader Sphinx if I need to. Alright, alright. Do really want him to just replay Fire Elemental so I can basically time walk him with Blink of an Eye. Keldon Raider. They're going to be able to replay Sparring Construct here too. Oh, they chose not to discard. They do have a lot of creatures in their hand, but they can't play too many of them per turn. Alright, so I think I'm actually going to attack with Sphinx, rescue it, and then replay it for the Scry 2. So you can see I'm not too far ahead in the race. And they have some big creatures coming down, so I could fall behind. Plus, I guess this lets me block their creatures on their next turn. Unless they kick something, I can't block this Goblin, but at the minimum I can block Spar and Construct. All right, I want both of these. So if I go Divination next turn into the Eldest Reborn, that's decent. Oh, I did that wrong. Shoot. Shoot. All right, well, that's fine. Yeah, I wanted to draw Divination first, but I put it on top underneath the Eldest Reborn. We know their hand. Keldon Raider, Fire Elemental, and at least 2 other non-lands. They would have played their 6th land by now. They could be thinking, hey, maybe I want to kick a spell here. Just going to be Raider again to try and hit a land drop. Hopefully it's not like Eviscerate on my Sphinx or anything like that. Yeah, I think they're... Well, they didn't discard last time, so I'm not sure why they're playing this over Fire Elemental. They didn't discard this turn either. They're playing around Syncopate. Oh, never mind. They did discard. Partick Wanderer. Yeah, opponent's playing the I have tons of big creatures game. Turn this into a 5/4, I suppose. Is that the plan here? I guess with them having wild growth, I kind of want that to happen. Eldest Reborn's going to take this out. Then they play Fire Elemental. I'm actually in a lot of trouble this game, aren't I? Yeah. All right. So I kind of have to let that happen. We're going to play the Eldest Reborn. It's going to get rid of this Goblin, and then I have to hope to hit something that kind of deals with their creatures over the next couple turns. I am going to draw Divination next turn. I don't think I should chump block. Think I should try to put myself in a position to try and win. Short Sword won't do it, and I boarded Short Sword out. So Divination actually is going to have to hit a removal spell for me to not die. Because if they play at minimum something like Fire Elemental, then they'd have 2 lethal attackers on me. Man, I really wish I had cast the Divination last turn. Time of Ice I already used. Alright, so make them discard and see if we draw something relevant off Divination. If not, I'm dead. Even a blink of an eye would be fine here. Shield. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Hook me up, Divination. At least a chump blocker. Blood Tallow Candle, and I don't have enough mana to cast it. Wow, am I really going to lose this game? I messed up so bad. With the Divination, I'd be able to cast this turn. Oh, I can't believe I messed that up. I'm actually just dead. I can't cast Candle and activate it. I can't chump with Cloud Reader Sphinx, and I can't deal the last 2 to him. Daragaz. I was probably dead to that anyway, but man, I'm going to lose this game. I can't believe it. I think my deck is so much just like favored to win against this sort of deck. But I screwed up the order of the cards. I would have at least been able to survive another turn and then reanimate their Daragaz with the Eldest Reborn. Jeez. Yep. All right, you got me, opponent. Man, I can't believe I lost this game. And to just a quick misclick that I couldn't fix. Oh, that feels so bad. We should have had that one. We definitely would have had it unless they had a removal spell off the top there, which they didn't have in hand. Man, we would have gotten Reed cast their Daragaz. That feels actually pretty bad coming out of the game like that because we had the potential to win. But the problem there, if you missed it, was when I scryed Divination plus Eldest Reborn, I needed to put Eldest Reborn on top first, then Divination. In real life, I'd be able to say, oh, wait, hold on, let me put the other one on top, but I already clicked put Eldest Reborn on, or Divination on top and messed it up. The order needed to be the other way around, and we would have gotten there if my opponent's last card that they drew was not a removal spell. So I think we had a 3-0 deck there, but due to a little bit of misclicking and maybe a little bit of misplaying, we didn't come out of it with the 3-0, so we'll have to settle for 2-1, which is my fault. But anyway, I hope you did enjoy the draft. Those games were pretty fun, even though I've got a pretty a little bit of saltiness for my misclicking right now, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, this is Timothy with Mana Rock, so thanks for subscribing, all my new subscribers out there. Appreciate you watching, and I hope you enjoyed the content. I will be back with more Dominaria Draft soon, so stay tuned, and I will see y'all next time.